So in this video, we're going to cover number 2 of paper 1 Add Math, mid-June 2024. It says the polynomial p is such that px is equals to 6x cubed minus 35x squared plus 34x plus 45. Find px in the form 2x minus 5 qx plus r, where qx is a polynomial and r is a constant. Now, there are two methods of solving this question. You can, first method is by multiplication, second method is by long division. I'm going to cover both methods, and you can actually choose the method that you prefer. So, p of x is 6x cubed minus 35x squared plus 34x plus 45. Now, I'll cover the first method, which is multiplication. Now we're asked to find px in the form 2x minus 5 q of x plus r. Now this first method, you are going to rewrite q of x as ax squared plus bx plus c. Now you may be asking, why is it ax squared or why is it not ax cubed or something like that? To find the power, or the highest power of q of x, in this case which is 2, you have to look at your original polynomial. The highest power of your original polynomial is 3, and you already have a factor here of 2x minus 5. So basically you subtract by indices. If you divide x cubed over x, you get x squared. So in this case, why I said is multiplication. If you multiply, what will q of x be, so that when you multiply 2x minus 5, you're going to get 6x cubed, and the highest power has to be 2, so that when you multiply out, you get 6x cubed. Now, of course, this method is going to make you find out what a, b, and c is. So when we multiply out this, we get p. If we rewrite q of x in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Don't forget your plus r. Now you're going to multiply this out, because we want to find if we can find and compare a, b, and c in this form to your original form of 6x cubed minus 35, 34, and 45. You can actually find what a, b, c, and r is. So if we multiply this out, we get 2a. Now you can also pause the video and try your hand at multiplying it out. 2ax cubed plus 2b x squared, that is this times this, plus 2cx minus 5a x squared minus 5bx minus 5c plus r. Now that we've multiplied it out, we're going to collect like terms. What do I mean? We're going to put the terms that have similar powers together. So in this case, 2a x cubed only has 2a, but x squared has 2b and minus 5a. X has 2c and minus 5b. Then this whole thing, I think I'm going to use a different color. This whole thing here is going to be a constant, because there are no x. There's no x in it, so it's going to hold as 5c minus 5c plus r is going to hold as a constant. Now, if we put all this together, we get 2bx squared minus 5a x squared plus 2cx minus 5bx minus 5c plus r. Now, like I said before, we're going to group this, and we're going to have, what we want to group is, we want to group the coefficients together so we can easily compare to the original that we have here, the original. So if we group this, we get 2b minus 5a x squared. We get 2c minus 5b x minus 5c plus r. Now note that I'm not changing the polynomial, I'm only grouping it, grouping the coefficients, like coefficients, so that I could compare it. Now if we bring the original equation under, this is what I want to compare. If we bring the original equation underneath here, you also have that p of x. Keep in mind that this is still p of x. So p of x is equals to 6x cubed minus 35x squared plus 34x plus 45. Now, by now I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to compare these two. I'm going to compare these two. I'm going to compare this and this. So comparing it to just help me find a, b, and c, and r. So I have that 2a has to be equals to 6, because I'm comparing the coefficients. 2a is equals to 6, so a is 3. And this coefficient, I have 2b minus 5a equals, don't forget your minus here, so minus 35. Now we already have that a is 3, so 2b minus 5 times 3 equals minus 35. 2b minus 15 equals minus 35. If we add 15 to both sides, we get 2b equals minus 35 plus 15. You have that 2b equals minus 20. So b is minus 10. Minus 20 divided by 2 is minus 10. So the next part, I'm going to move this a little so we have enough space. The next part here is 2c minus 5b equals 34. Now, if this seems too long to do, like I said, I'm also going to go over the long division method. So this is just for the people who, I know some people don't like doing long division, so this is another method you can use. Okay, b is minus 10. So 2c minus 5 minus 10 equals 34. So 2c minus 5 times minus 10 is plus 50. So 2c plus 50 equals 34. 2c is equals to, if you subtract 50 from both sides, you get 34 minus 50, which is minus 16. And c is minus 8. Now for the last part, I'm going to do this part now. I have c. Now I'm going to look for r. So r, we have that 5 minus 5c plus r equals 45. And c is minus 8. So minus 5 times minus 8 plus r equals 45. Minus 5 times minus 8 is 40. So 40 plus r equals 45. R is 5. So now remember that we said our q of x is ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to rewrite it with the values, with these values that we found. We're going to write q of x to be 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. And our r is plus 5. So we can rewrite the whole p of x. We can rewrite it here. P of x as in the form 2x minus 5. So our q of x, remember, was 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. And our r was plus 5. So you found q of x. This is q of x. And this is r. So that's the first method. I haven't forgotten. I'm going to do long division method. That's the second method. So now, based on the original question, I'm actually just going to take this whole thing. So based on your original question, they've given us one factor. If we're doing long division, if you divide a polynomial by a smaller polynomial, you get a different polynomial. So we have one factor here, and we're looking for another factor, which is q of x plus r. So r is going to be the remainder. So if you practice long division a lot of times, remember that. So we can divide 6x cubed minus 35x squared plus 34x plus 45. Can divide that by 2x minus 5. So that'll be 6x cubed minus 35x squared plus 34x plus 45. We divide this by 2x minus 5. Now, yes, I do remember how to do long division. I went over this myself before I started this video. So we're going to do 6x cubed divided by 2x will give us 3x squared. Now we're going to multiply this. 3x squared times 2x, as this times this, would give you 6x cubed. 3x squared minus times minus 5 will give you minus 15x squared. Now if you subtract this, you get, this cancels out. 6 minus 6 is 0. So minus 35x squared minus 15x squared, which is, so this subtly changes to plus, because minus and minus is plus. So minus 35x squared plus 15, you get minus 20x squared. And minus 20x squared divided by minus 2x give you minus 10x. Remember to bring this down before you multiply again. So you have minus 10x times 2x. So I'm doing this times this. Minus 10x times 2x will give you minus 20x squared. Minus 10x times minus 5 will give you plus 50x. You subtract again. So remember that minus and minus is plus, so this changes to plus, and this just becomes 0, because minus 20 plus 20 is 0. Now you have 34 minus 50, 34x minus 50x, and you get minus 16x. Now remember, I also bring this down, so plus 45. So minus 16x divided by minus 2x will give you minus 8. Now I'm multiplying this with this. So minus 8 times 2 is minus 16x. Minus 8 times 2x is minus 16x. Minus 8 times minus 5 will give you plus 40. So subtract this. Again, this cancels out. 45 minus 40 is 5. So your remainder, r, is equals to 5. And this is your polynomial, p of x. So you've written, q of x, not p of x. Q of x. So you've written p of x in the form 2x minus 5 times your q of x, which is 3x squared minus 10x minus 8, and your r plus 5. So compare this. Look, it's the same thing as what we got before. So you can do it either way and you get the same answer. And if we are cross-checking with the mark scheme, we see that q of x here, q of x is 3x squared minus 10x minus 8, and r is 5. look, you get points for long division or by basically forming an identity means the ax squared plus bx plus c that we did. All right. So question B. Now B says, so write an expression px minus 5 as a product of linear factors. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand what linear factors are. Linear factors are basically factors where the lowest power of x is equals to 1. So what we're going to do, we're going to rewrite the p of x that we just got. We got 2x minus 5, 3x squared minus 10x minus 8 plus 5. Now they want us to rewrite this expression. They want us to write the expression px minus 5 as a product of linear factors. That means this should be linear. Well, this is already linear because the lowest power of x here is just 1. But this is not linear, so we're going to have to make this a linear factor. And we can do that by dividing, well, when you have like ax minus b or something, plus b, something like that. That's what we want to make from this 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. So this px minus 5 is basically what they just basically did was to move this plus 5 to the other side. So our expression hasn't really changed. So 2x minus 5, 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. So this is a linear factor, so you don't need to worry about this. This is not. So we want to make this a linear factor. Now how do we do that? We are going to factorize this equals 0. We're going to factorize this. The way I still factorize is by, if you multiply this, if you know how to factorize, go ahead and do that. But this is the way I still remember to factorize. Multiply minus 8 by 3x squared, you get minus 24x squared. And what two numbers can you multiply to get minus 24 but add to get minus 10? That'll be minus 12x and 2. If you add minus 12x plus 2x, you get 10x. So this plus this, you get minus 10x. And this times this, you get minus 24x. So you can rewrite this, removing this and adding this 2. What do I mean? So we can do 3x squared. Instead of minus 10x, you now have minus 12x plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. This is just to help you factorize it better. So you can now you group these two and factor them. Factor these two together. So you're going to have 3x to bracket x minus 4. If you multiply this, you get 3x squared minus 12x. And then if you factor this, keep in mind that when you're factoring, you should have the same term in the bracket. So this can't be x plus 4 and this is x minus 4. That won't work. So this is equals to 0. So then you just take this and this and make it into one bracket. 3x plus 2, x minus 4. So now you factorized 3x squared minus 10x into this. This these are linear factors. If you're not sure of your linear factors, you can actually multiply it out and see if you get it. If you multiply, I'm just going to quickly multiply this out. If you multiply this out, you get 3x squared minus 3x times minus 4 is minus 12x plus 2x minus 8. So that's what we originally had. So therefore, the answer to your question would be px minus 5 equals 2x minus 5. Then instead of writing dx squared minus 10x minus 8, you write 3x plus 2 and x minus 4. Now the reason why we rewrote this is because they asked for linear factors. If you draw, now a linear factor is, what is linear? Linear is a line. Now if you draw this graph, this x squared minus 10x minus 8, this graph is not linear. This graph probably looks like this, something like this. And they want a graph where, well, they want a factor where if you draw it, it gives you a line. That's what a linear factor is. So if you, basically they want it in the form mx plus b or something. You know how your line is mx plus b? Yes, so that's how they want the factors to be. So now we have our answer here. 2x minus 5, 3x plus 2, and x plus 4. So px minus 5 is equals to 2x minus 5, 3x plus 2, and x minus 4. If we go to our mark scheme, look, they did here px minus 5 because this is your original function that you found in this question. So I mean, you get points for write it in this form, but you have to have it in this form of linear factors to get full points. You can only do that when you factorize. All right, last question. So it says, so write down the solutions of the equation px equals to 5. Now, when is px equals to 5? If you rearrange this, px is equals to 5, or you can say px minus 5 equals 0. So what they want you to do here is to write the solutions to this. Now, we've already said in this previous question that px minus 5 is also 2x minus 5, 3x plus 2, and x minus 4. So, which is equals to 0. What I did here, I just moved this 5 to the other side to get px minus 5. Now, for any of this to be equals to 0, each of these factors have to be equals to 0. So you can say 2x minus 5 equals 0, which is x equals, if you move 5 to this side, you have 5 over 2. Or 3x plus 2 equals 0. You have x equals minus 2 over 3. Move 2 to this side and divide by 3. Last but not the least, x minus 4 equals 0, or x equals to 4. So your solutions to this question, so x equals to 5 over 2 minus 2 over 3, or 4. That is your answer. If you double check here, you have 5 over 2 minus 2 over 3 and 4. So you get full points on each. You're writing this, equating it to 0, and yeah, so that's the end of this this number 2. I'll continue, like I said, I'll continue to explain each of these. this paper in other videos. Well, until next time, bye.